He came in every Thursday at 6:37 p.m., right before closing. Same wrinkled shirt, same quiet shuffle. He'd buy the same things too: bread, milk, canned soup, a few bananas. Always short by a few dollars. Always apologetic. "I'm sorry, son, I thought I had more." I'd smile, wave him off, slide my card when no one looked. $3, $5, $7. For 2 years. It wasn't charity, not Willie. It was routine. A quiet exchange between strangers pretending not to need each other. He never knew my name. I never asked his. Then he stopped coming. Week 1, 2, a month, then 3. Gone. The store didn't change. The hum of the freezers, the clatter of carts, the fluorescent hum. But something hollowed out the space where he used to stand. I assumed the worst. You can tell when someone's story ends. It's in the silence they leave behind. 6 months later, a man in a gray suit approached my register. He had his eyes. Same tired kindness buried behind years of something unsaid. "Are you Daniel?" I nodded. "My grandfather passed," he said. "He left you this." He handed me an envelope, a letter, and a check for $500,000. The store went quiet. Even the freezers stopped humming. That was the moment everything began to feel wrong. The handwriting was neat, deliberate, like someone who had practiced every word 1,000 times. He thanked me, said I reminded him of someone, said I had given him something no one else ever did: dignity. And then, near the end, "I'm sorry for what my son did." I read that line 12 times. The words blurred. My stomach turned to ice. What his son did? The man in the suit, his son, had eyes too calm for grief, too rehearsed. I asked nothing. He offered nothing. He just watched me read, waiting for something, a reaction, a crack. I gave him none. He left, leaving me with a letter that felt heavier than the check. I stared at the name on the signature: Arthur Whitman. Whitman, the owner of the grocery chain? My employer. And suddenly I remembered something. A rumor whispered months ago. A scandal buried by money and silence. A child, abandoned, hidden, bought off. I folded the letter and put it in my locker. I didn't cash the check. Not yet. Because that line, "I'm sorry for what my son did," wouldn't stop echoing. I started quietly. Phone records, employment files, company archives. Arthur Whitman had a son, Charles, CEO, polished, respected, the same man who had handed me the envelope. I found an old article, a blurred photo of a young woman holding a baby, unwed mother. Settlement reached, no follow-up, no name. My mother's face flashed in my mind, the tired smile, the empty explanations when I asked about my father. Every detail aligned too easily. Same year, same city. Coincidence or confession? I ordered a DNA test. Quietly. Hair from my mother's brush, a coffee cup Charles had left behind on the counter when he delivered the envelope. I waited. Days stretched into weeks. Work became mechanical. Customers, barcodes, beeps. But my mind ran on a different rhythm. Every transaction felt like counting down to something inevitable. At night, I'd take out the letter, read the same line again. "I'm sorry for what my son did." The words started to feel personal, like a whisper from the grave. I didn't want it to be true, but deep down, I already knew. The results came in on a Thursday. Fitting. I opened the envelope in the break room, the smell of detergent thick in the air. My hands didn't shake. I'd already lost the right to feel surprise. 99.98% match. Charles Whitman, my father. The man who'd handed me $500,000 to erase his guilt. I sat there for a long time, thinking about the years of quiet hunger, my mother's long hours, the way I'd paid strangers' debts, hoping it meant something. Now I understood why Arthur's eyes had softened every time he saw me. He'd recognized me. His son's secret. His own unfinished confession. When I saw Charles again, it wasn't planned. He came to the store to check in on operations. Flawless smile, silver watch, eyes that reflected nothing. I handed him a folded paper. He opened it, read. The color drained from his face. No words, just silence. Finally, he whispered, "Where did you